Hi guys, Skillfully Awful here and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be talking about my nightmare neighbour who lives right above me. It's a doozy, okay? It's something, right? So, where to start? Where to start? First of all, she's an upstairs neighbour. I've had upstairs neighbours before her, one or two, and never before have they made as much noise as she does. So I don't know when all this started. Maybe she isn't like my mum and my stepdad when they lived here. I don't know. But she has it out for me, and I don't know what I done, what happened. I don't know what happened, but this woman has it out for me. She stomps really loudly, and you might be thinking she's an upstairs neighbour, you're gonna hear her. No, it sounds like she's jumping on one part of her floor continuously. It's like she's just getting her foot and stomping it on the floor. And then at night at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I don't know what's wrong with her, she'll just walk up and down her like corridor, and it sounds like she'll walk up and down her hall, which sounds like somebody is in my house. And my best friend's been staying here for a couple of weeks, and she's already had like multiple panic attacks because she thought somebody was in the house. Had to scope the entire house, making sure nobody was in the house, when actually, in fact, it was just her. Sometimes I cannot sleep because she keeps walking up and down her hall at 3 in the morning, and I think there's somebody in my house. And also, this woman is tiny. Like, she is so small, so light, she looks so lovely, but oh my god, the amount of noises she makes. The amount of times I have walked around my house with this in my hand, thinking there is an intruder ready to smack whoever comes in my way, is ridiculous. It sounds like my door's being opened. Sometimes it sounds like somebody's knocking on the door, so if I'm waiting on somebody, I'm like halfway in the like living room and the hall trying to see if somebody's at the door. But yeah, that's like the small stuff. But with kind of like severe anxiety and ADHD, with those kind of noises, they go right into my brain, and it's really hard to drone them out because my brain kind of picks it up and focuses it and focuses on nothing else other than that constant banging, and it goes on for so long that it just kind of drills into my brain. So I've started blasting my music, and I have like I've been blasting, if it gets really bad, I blast Leathermouth, and I don't know if you've heard them, but it's basically just Frank Iero from My Chemical Romance screaming. I usually blast that if it's like too late for her to be stomping, or it's just ridiculous amount of stomping, I will play that. But the juicy part to the story. Now, the reason I brought up me blasting my music, which was kind of like, I have been up there a number of times to tell her, please stop jumping about your house like a madman, please. And she's like, yeah, and then I come back down and she just starts it again. She doesn't listen no matter how many times I complain. So I took to blasting music to possibly try and get the point. Didn't really work. I think it made it work because there has been a number of kids, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but my best friend passed away about 5 or 6 months ago. I don't want to keep track of it because I don't want to think about it. And I remember 3 days before her funeral, kids kept going up and down, and then they were looking at me, and then they kept going like up and down past my window, and not like they were going to the shops. Nah, these bitches were like up and down and up and down, and then they started making gagging sounds, which I don't know if it was because the days prior I was puking because, you know, my best friend died out of the fucking blue, so like grief, and I was puking all the time, and I live in a flat so kids can cut through. So if I'm in the bathroom and I'm puking, they could probably hear it. So I don't know if they were coming from my garden and they heard me puking and they were making fun of me, or they were making fun of me because I'm ugly. I don't know, but I was trying to play Red Dead Redemption online and try and forget about everything, and then they keep going up and down and up and down, and then the knocking on the windows started, the knocking on the door started, and kids throwing shit at my window. Now, this doesn't sound like it's connected. I didn't think it was, but the kids have also started, one night, those kids started following me home, and I kind of did like a little old swerve, like, usually if I think somebody's following me, I make certain movements. So like, I was on one side of the road, I crossed again, and if they keep doing the weird movements, they're following me, and what do you know? They copied me. So I kind of like did a reverse and went back to my friend who was waiting at the bus stop to get her bus at the time, and they stood in the entrance of my flat, and when I got up to them, they went inside of the flat and then up the stairs, and they were talking about not having their grand's key, and the woman who lives above me is an old woman, so they could be related to her, which means the old woman has told these kids to start harassing me for blasting music when I am blasting the music because you keep stomping and I have ADHD, and God, might I tell you, it sets off my anger, it sets off everything. It's just, I can't, like, I have to take about an hour to calm down after I hear that stomping, because it, like, you might be thinking, it's not that bad. I'll try and put a sound clip somewhere. It's bad, and that's on my phone, which can barely pick up sound. It is so bad. It sounds like someone's in the wall next to me, just banging the wall. That's what it sounds like. It is so bad. I remember telling my friends about it, and they're always like, yeah, they live upstairs. But then when they come here and they actually hear it from themselves, they're like, is she alright? And yeah, she's fine. She's just a prick. But yeah, so this woman has told her grandchildren and all of their little friends to start following me, harassing me, knocking on my window, which my friend has severe panic attacks and terrified of windows, and she's got like PTSD. So if somebody knocks on the window like that, all of a sudden it sets her off and she has a panic attack. Then I have to sit and calm her down, and then I have to sit and calm myself down because I'm mad that these kids are doing this shit. They've also been throwing shit at my windows. They threw Coke at my door, like Coca-Cola, which I don't know if you know, but if you throw fizzy drinks onto something, it ain't coming off. My door is stained with shit. They stole one of my parcels once, because since we live in a flat, they go outside of the door. They stole one of my parcels. I know because I got a parcel that said was delivered, wasn't delivered, and the packaging was outside my back garden, which if they took it to cut through to the park, they would have opened it through the packaging. So they stole one of my parcels. The knocking on the window, which doesn't sound bad, but it's like 2 or 3 times a night, and with my friend it's got like some shit to dealing with. Like, me and my friend are both dealing with some shit right now, and we just don't need it. Her grandkids will also, this wall is right next to, like, so you come in the flat, the door's like here for the flat, and then bam, you know, they'll sit and knock on this, or they'll sit and talk outside of my window and shout really, really loudly, but they're doing it on purpose, and it's just like, what is wrong with you? I've also, so basically what I'm saying is my upstairs neighbour, this video is all over the place. So in summary, this bitch keeps stomping, jumping, I don't know what she's doing. I think she's trying to drive me insane, I don't know. And I've been up to tell her, please stop this, I can't handle it, blah blah blah. She doesn't listen. So I started blasting my music. And in retaliation to that, even though this is kind of like my way of telling you to shut up, because I only start doing it when she starts stomping, so I kind of thought she would get the hint. No. So that kind of snowballed into her telling her grandkids to get all of their friends and gang up on me, knock on my window, scream at me when I'm in public, follow me home, throw shit at my windows, play Chapter Run on my door, which they did about like 5 times a night. And I've got really bad anxiety, dude. Like, I can barely answer the door enough as it is. But yeah, basically, she's gotten kids to start harassing me. I went on with my skateboard once and they kept following me. Like, continuously kept following me and watching me. If I stopped, they stopped. If I went a weird, like, loop-de-loop to make sure they weren't following me. Every time I go past them, they start laughing at me. And I have severe anxiety and I can't deal with this shit. But it's just, tell me, come to me first. Don't get your kids to start doing shit. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with this woman. She also works in one of the shops and I can't go there. because, well, I could, but I'll start screaming at her, and I just, basically that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed. Oh, she also got the kids to like steal my bin and like wheel it all the way down the street. I don't know, but it was just that on top of losing my best friend, and then me and my friend going through some shit right now, and then just like, it was 2 days before her funeral they started all this shit. So it's been going on for a good 5 or 4 months, and I just don't get what this woman's problem is. But I don't know. I've started leaving Michael Jackson pictures at her door if she gets too bad. If I stay up past 1 o'clock and if I start feeling tired and I push past that tiredness, I go into like some weird kind of fucking state. And I got into that state. I drew a picture of Michael Jackson and it said, "You've heed your last he." And I was gonna put it outside of her door, but my friend was like, that sounds like a threat. So I just drew Michael Jackson and put it outside of her door. I don't know if she got it. I hope she got it. But yeah, she's got a he and he. I think I put 2 Michael Jackson things. Then the next day she was really loud too. So I put the Michael Jackson shit outside of her door. So now it's kind of like moving on to kind of threats, but it's Michael Jackson pictures. Like, it's not a threat. You're throwing shit in my windows. It's not a threat. But yeah, I think that's all I have for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. If you have an upstairs neighbour, just tell them flat out. Or if you have if a neighbour's annoying you, just try and tell them subtly or something and trying to avoid all this shit. But yeah, that's all I have for today's video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.